Was that
Okay,
my cue?
that was your cue. And hello everyone. So I am an idiot. This is the third time that we are starting this video. Since the last time that let's not go into why we had to do this two other times. Uh, since the last
Nope.
time that we saw each other, although for you it's just been 2 days, for us it's been like 2 weeks, hasn't it? I have completely played through the entire game again because all the save games that I had were not early enough to save what was wrong. Obviously, in that middle section where we had to keep replaying sections, a step was missed, and it was enough that it threw the game off for the finale. Um,
Right.
but in doing so, I was able to pick up a couple of new extra scenes and some
Hmm.
extra conversations. I found two weird glitches as well. So those will be included at the end of this video. They won't have commentary. I mean, maybe I might do a little introduction about why I think they're interesting, but other than that, they will be as found in the game. Um, what was the last thing I was going to say?
The sped up version.
Yes, the sped up version. So, since I did replay through the entire game, it took me 2 hours to play from start to finish, and I have included that. You'll find those as two separate videos up on my channel and in this playlist, where I've sped it up to 400% and 800%. I don't know why I did this, but for some reason it's magical.
It enriched my life. It changed it.
He said that both other times as well, but
Consistency, dear.
it is
Consistency.
consistency. And we are so now we are finally ready to continue. Although first, I just want to explore around in this scene because look, I can't go past Steve. Oh no, I can. Bye. Bye, Steve.
Oh. Bye, Steve.
But while we're doing this, look, we can. Oh, don't touch me now. Oh, sorry.
Don't touch me now, Laura. Find some way to stop the murderer before he kills us.
Oh, it's great, Steve. Oh, you're a non-entity. I can't speak to you at all. It's Steve standing guard in front of the dinosaur, hoping you'll think of something clever. Nope, I'm just gonna stand here, Steve.
Let's ask him some questions. It's important.
I can't. He's just not there. If you try.
Oh,
Hi.
he doesn't exist. Hi. Oh. Bye, Steve.
Yeah, so I just thought that was a fun little thing to include. So let's go do what we're actually supposed to do.
Let's push the button. And there he is.
And of course, if you've seen our last playthrough, this is Detective O'Reilly, but the game cheats us out and does not let us know.
Oh.
I know, it's cheap. But it's important for this final part, which is the pop quiz.
Act 6.
Because everyone loves pop quiz. But I think that's what makes this game so interesting. I mean, there's a whole heap of other things, like, you know, playing through it several times, you'll find little new extra things. And, you know, considering this message says so far so good, that could be seen like, you did alright, but it is the best result that you can get.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, like, this game, like, because especially with the randomization about who you will find walking around, each playthrough feels a little bit different. I mean, it's not 100% different, but, you know, you get enough variation in it. Like, for instance, I couldn't find Wolf at all this entire playthrough. I kept looking for him, and he kept showing up when I wanted the lantern, but I didn't get to ask him all the strange questions and all that. And you are the coroner.
Thank you for coming to this inquest, Miss Bill. As the coroner on this case, I'm going to informally question you and study the evidence you found collected. I changed my accent. If you assist me in developing the case, the perpetrators will be tried in a formal court of law. We're primarily concerned with the museum murders, but we're also interested in the theft of the Dagger of Amon and other matters that may have a bearing on this case. My examinations of the corpses has been fruitful, but I need more evidence to build a case.
Sorry, the reason my cursor's moving is because I'm dancing to this music.
you seem to be dancing. Miss Bow, any information you can give us would help, but you must justify your conclusions with the evidence you've acquired. False accusations and unsupported conclusions will not be tolerated.
That sounds like you said will be tolerated.
Will be tolerated. It's fine. Although I don't wish to pressure you, your employer is also here to judge your performance on this investigation. Since this is an informal proceeding, I have allowed on the basis that your newspaper will cooperate with our wishes. Now to the questions. Let me ask you some dirty questions. Who murdered Dr. Pippin Carter? Who did it?
It was Detective Hallahan O'Reilly, and he did it for financial gain.
Who murdered Lawrence Ziggy Ziegfeld?
Well, that was Detective Hallahan O'Reilly, and he did that to cover another crime.
Who murdered Ernie Leach?
Well, that was Detective Hallahan O'Reilly. Because of my dance, I almost clicked Olympia Miklos. He did that to cover another crime, because Ernie saw something he shouldn't have.
And who murdered Yvette Delacroix?
Well, that was Detective O'Reilly again. And that one was different, because that was jealousy.
Oh, who murdered Countess Lavinia Walthoff Watercloset?
Lavinia, but same difference.
Lavinia. Oh, whatever.
The water closet was murdered by Detective Hallahan O'Reilly. And technically, that was to cover another crime. But I would say thrill, really. Think about it. Think about it.
The thrill. Who was the skeleton found in the steamer trunk?
Well, that was Dr. Archibald Carrington III.
Who murdered Dr. Archibald Carrington? Who murdered him?
Well, that was Watney Little.
Who impersonated Dr. Archibald Carrington?
Well, it was his murderer, Dr. Watney Little. Watney Little, he wasn't a doctor.
And who murdered him?
Well, that would be Detective O'Reilly, and that was to cover another crime.
Who actually stole the Dagger of Amon robbed from the ancient Egypt exhibit?
Well, that would be Watney Little.
Who manipulated Watney Little into stealing the dagger?
Well, that was Detective O'Reilly.
And who was the woman involved in stealing paintings from the old master's gallery?
Well, that was the Countess water closet.
Oh. Based on what we now know, your assumption is correct, Miss Bow. Good work.
Thank you.
I'm holding out my hands weirdly. Who was
So
the
am I.
man involved in stealing paintings from the old master's gallery?
Well, that was Watney Little.
Based on what we now know, that is correct. Correcta. Who was the middleman who provided forged paintings for the countess and sold the real ones for her?
Well, that would be Lawrence Ziegfeld.
Yo, that is correct. Yo, that is correct, Miss Bow.
Chicka bow wow.
Yo, Miss Bow. Who is the high priest of the Amon-Ra sun worshippers?
Well, that would be Ramses Najir. He was the only one who was showing his face during that whole business.
You're very observant. That is correct.
Thank you.
Which museum employee runs a fencing operation as a sideline business?
Which proved to be
that.
completely, not relevant to this case. That was Ernie Leach.
That assumption is correct, Mr. Leach. Oh, that assumption is correct. Mr. Leach was moonlighting with his own business as a fence installer. In fact, he put up a very nice fence around my house.
Lovely. I have one piece of evidence, a final piece of evidence to present, Mr. Coroner. Who cares about your name, even though it's Henry Lamont? I have an eyewitness who would only feel safe coming forth if I establish my case against Mr. O'Reilly. Now that I've done so, let me introduce Dr. Patricia Ted Smith of the Cairo Museum, who glides in on roller skates.
Mr. Smith's testimony is safe with us.
Many thanks. I was in the Egyptian ceremonial room underneath the museum when Detective O'Reilly killed two of my fellow sun worshippers. I saw with my own eyes how he gunned them down without mercy, and when they tried to stop him from chasing Miss Bo.
Miss Bow.
Now I'm just blinking. However, we only managed to slow him down. His hood fell back briefly, revealing his evil face to us as he slaughtered our people. That son of a camel should not be allowed to run free upon their sons.
Where did he get that after all? And also, how did we get from there from the Countess? That whole thing didn't quite make sense.
I will testify in court to what you witness, Mr. Smith.
He better.
Oh, happily, sir. My dead fellows expect their revenge, although Amon-Ra will certainly destroy O'Reilly's car when he journeys through the underworld. I'm not qualified to give my opinion on Mr. O'Reilly's spirit in the next world, Mr. Smith, but I'm sure your testimony will help your dead friend sleep peacefully. Thank you for coming forth. I must admit that I'm impressed by your methods, Miss Bow. Not only have you identified the murderers of these unfortunate individuals, but you've also uncovered the skullduggery involving the Dagger of Amon. Our case is very strong now, and persecution can begin.
By the way, I have the dagger. Did anyone know that?
No, I don't. We don't care about that. The New York, the department owes you. The NYPD owes you a debt of gratitude for your assistance in apprehending these malefactors. I'm sure that accommodation of valor for the police department is in order. Thank you for your help. Everybody clap now.
Everybody did except my boss and whoever this dude is. Yay!
Laura Bow solves Dagger theft.
It's
More
all
at the
that
left.
lousy reporter's fault. My hips keep disappearing when the text comes up. That damn interfering Laura Bow.
Those damn hips.
She thinks she can get away with squealing on me and getting rid of my legs. Does she? Well, she got another thing frickin' coming.
Another thing?
Well, it's another do you hear me? Laura fucking Bow, you'll be paying for this. I hope you have
You're quiet.
If it's the last fucking thing I ever do.
Oh my god.
Well, you can't see my red head with this hat. This does not go in my complexion at all.
Oh, thank you for waiting, Laura.
I didn't mind, Steve.
Laura.
Yes, Steve. Oh, I keep clicking through my text, but I know it.
Oh dear.
Oh, would you mind? Do you suppose, Laura, could you close your eyes? I have something for you. Zip.
Well, I suppose so. Oh, I forgot to say oh.
Oh.
Oh, Steve.
Can I cut you with this? Do you like it?
Yes, it will go with my collection of the other one, but you shouldn't have stolen the dagger, Steve.
I didn't steal the dagger, Laura. I bought this copy for you at the museum gift shop. I thought you might like a memento of your big night at the Lion Decking Museum, with all the people dying.
Yeah, I'm actually going into counseling for that. Oh, thank you, Steve. I'm so embarrassed, but I never want to remember that night ever again, you date rapist.
You're beautiful when you blush, Laura.
Yes, Steve.
This is a little awkward, actually. Would you consider joining me for dinner this coming Saturday?
Well, I'm not sure if I'm still gonna be in town. I don't really know if I should stay. I don't have any money. I haven't eaten for a couple of days. Actually, yes, I'd be delighted to join you for dinner. Please feed me. Please feed me now.
Thank you, Laura. Oh, you made me very happy. I will feed you. Laura, I'm a feeder. I'm just saying.
Oh,
Laura.
Steve!
Oh.
A
Look,
whole
I'm
cake
closing
for
my eyes.
myself. Oh.
I'm closing my eyes in the portrait.
Oh.
Steve
Little
turned
cakes.
into a
I
feeder.
love little cakes.
Little cakes.
Since his skeleton was so nicely cleaned off by the domestic beetles, Dr. Carrington's bones will soon be hanging on display in the Line-Decker Museum.
Yes, and that is true.
Yvette Delacroix died plastered. Her remarkably lifelike statue now lives on in the Old Masters Gallery of the Line-Decker Museum. Her memory lives on in the minds of all those she touched. Her sculpture is attributed to Ryan O'Reilly, 1926.
Oh.
Pleased by your success at finding his Dagger of Amon and his murderer, Dr. Pippin Carter now rests in peace.
Yes.
Pippin's body was transported to Egypt by his cousin and now occupies a place of archaeological honor in the Temple of Amon-Ra in the Valley of the Kings. Archaeological.
Yes.
I can say that. Archaeological.
I belong there.
Archaeological.
Archaeological.
Due to your success at recovering the Dagger of Amon-Ra and finding the murderer, Wolf Heimlich continues as Chief of Security of the Line-Decker Museum. 2 months later, he was married to Dr. Olympia Miklos.
I love this woman.
2 years after they were married, Wolf and Olympia had a child they named Morgana Wolf Heimlich.
Oh, she's beautiful, yeah?
Yeah, we call her Morgie Wolf for short. Why do I suddenly have a
Morgie.
German accent?
Oh, yeah, Morgie.
Having died in the course of the story, Wardney Little's life of crime came to an abrupt end, as he was not a very nice man. Nobody missed him.
Nobody misses me.
Due to your success at recovering the Dagger of Amon-Ra and finding the murderer, Dr. Miklos married Wolf Heimlich, who continued as Chief of Security at the Line-Decker Museum, and man, I'm just laughing myself with this whole conversation. It's the exact same thing as before. We could have added something a bit more interesting, like, maybe she wrote a very important paper or something.
She wrote a book on scars.
Yes. As fond as he was of the Line-Decker, Ernie Leach noted in his will that he wanted his body donated to the museum. His body now resides in numerous small jars of alcohol, which will be placed on display in the new Hall of Internal Biology, adjacent to the Hall of Late Mammals. Both of those could have been opened by Dr. Miklos, I'm just saying. Maybe she's
That's
the
where I
museum
belong.
maybe she's the museum president now. Dr. Patasha Tut Smith finally gave up on getting the Dagger of Amon-Ra returned to Egypt. However, once it continued its US and European museum tours, it returned to the Cairo Museum anyway.
Oh, that is very good. I'm very happy about that.
Yes, shut up, you bitch.
No.
Several years later, Tut died a happy man, even though his death was the result of an Egyptian cobra bite.
Oh, it was very unfortunate. Oh, very unfortunate.
After losing his head in the museum, Ziggy found himself unable to continue his criminal career. His head has been preserved and is now on display in the Life Mask exhibit at the Line-Decker Museum, which makes little sense because I don't think his face, he's not a face that people really want to come and see. No, they basically...
They'll just skip me.
Yeah, they do just all skip you. Except they sing the It's Ziggy's Head song, and then they kick your head around the floor. It's a fun game for everyone and all the kids. Ramses Najir continued his successful career as accountant and as head of the secret Egyptian cult of Amon-Ra. Not so secret anymore, if you know what I mean. With his strong high society ties, his accountancy business made Ramses a millionaire in 15 years' time. And now I'm going to marry him for some of that nice dosh. Having died from a snake bite, the Countess Lavinia Watercloset did not live long enough to inherit any of her money from her last husband, Sterling.
Oh.
Though thoroughly impressed by your success as a reporter, your editor, Sam Augustini, nominated you for a Pulitzer Prize and was present when you received your citation of valor from the police department. Not quite a commendation, but pretty good. So retired 10 years later after to become a gentleman cabbage farmer, fulfilling a secret lifelong dream of
Yes.
having sex with
Yes.
cabbages or something. Please Pleased at your success, Crodfeller T. Rhubarb was happy to become your assistant at the New York Daily Register News Tribune.
I'm really happy about that, as you can see.
Henry Lamort, the coroner, continued in his successful career studying dead bodies for the next 50 years, finally retiring in 1976 to go on tour with the rock band The Ungrateful Dead.
Ooh.
I have a feeling that
Fancy.
he might be going around as a dead body, you know, like as a skeleton with them, you know?
That would be cool.
Yes.
Hey.
Low-fat continued in the laundry business, eventually opening a chain of low-fat Chinese laundries across the country and becoming a millionaire in the process.
Oh, I'm a millionaire.
Former Detective Ryan Hallahan O'Reilly was sentenced to 60 years in state penitentiary. Having been a cop, Riley found it hard to make friends in prison. He's dead.
He's dead.
After your successful completion of the museum assignment, you started dating Steve Dorian. That hunk.
Yes,
I just want to get a bite out of his ass, I'm just saying. Thrilled by your success, John Bowe spent the rest of his life telling people what a wonderful daughter you were and how he taught you everything you knew about criminology. He totally did not commit suicide after you were murdered. That was an entirely different timeline, I'm just saying.
I'm still alive.
Yes, after you need some more speed, Father. After your recovery of the Dagger of Amon, it went back on display at the Lane Decker Museum. You know, after you kept it for about 3 months and then said, "Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot I had this." The large amount of press coverage drew many patrons to the museum to see the dagger. 2 years after display at the Lane Decker, the Dagger exhibit continued on a tour of museums in the United States, Europe, and then finally found its way back to the Cairo Museum back in Egypt. And now the credits.
Yay! Barry T. Smith.
Dina Krutak.
Crouton.
Oh! And Laura's dead. So, these are some fun animations.
Yeah, some of them are even unseen in the game.
Yeah. And of course, the archaeologist song, just one more time for everyone. But yeah, whoa, that's a big gun. I mean, some of these have obviously been altered for the end credits to make them a bit more humorous. Like this one that's coming up. Okay. Oh, he's back. Ooh, Birdish. That's an interesting last name.
Ooh,
Oh! Gosh, John Wentworth is shocking! Ooh! Oh, Daisy.
Daisy.
Little Daisy.
Do 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 do.
Ooh, Ken Koch, good name. And of course, Mark J. Hood. He does a lot of Sierra stuff. I mean, really, a lot of these people do Sierra stuff, but you know, there are some names that pop out a bit more than others, like Mark
Siebert. Yay!
Girl of the Tower.
Don't remind me.
Interesting fact, in high school, when, you know, like email and all that first came about, I emailed Mark Siebert thanking him for how awesome the soundtrack for Laura Bow 2 was, and he came back and said, actually it was Chris Brayman, because I did not understand the difference when I was that young. I just thought he was Sierra's main music man. That was it.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, super embarrassing. But we did just miss the writer credit for Josh Mandel, and that makes so much sense because he loves writing all little bits of text. And we're gonna have to do some more Josh Mandel games. Like, I really want to do Callahan's Cross Time Saloon at some point because that game is full of text.
Oh dear.
Basically, if you've got a Sierra game that has a lot of text, Josh Mandel is somewhere in that game, writing a lot of little messages. Wonderful messages.
He's all about the detail.
He is all about the detail. And he's a master of the pun, and you know, oh hey, the end, that's it. The credits were a lot quicker than I thought they'd be. Should I touch it?
The end. Yes, touch it. It disappeared.
Yes, and now we're seeing
And DOSBox closed.
Well, no, it was Scum VM because you told me to
Scum
use
VM,
Scum VM.
Yes,
You said I could not use DOSBox. Even though
I
it's the
forced
floppy,
you.
yeah, but even though it's the floppy version, which meant it wasn't gonna have trouble with the audio tracks. Either way.
Finally, we finished this the good way.
Yes. Bitching aside about DOSBox versus ScumVM, we hope that you enjoyed Lorabo 2. Obviously, I love this game. Del, do you love this game?
Absolutely. It's one of my absolute favorite games. I love it.
Yes. One of the things that I love about it is that so much of it is, I mean, not just the aesthetics and, like, you know, like, the amount of detail into, like, looking at all the murder scenes and all that, because obviously that's what I want to do with the games that I'm going to be creating. But also the things that I want to be doing in my games is that this game is very much built behind the mechanic of observation and comprehension, which is the main reason why you have that pop quiz at the end, to see that, you know, you've picked up all these clues, now make something out of it, you know?
Right, you have to put them to good use.
Yes, prove that you actually know what the F is going on. Like, the first time I played this game with my dad, when I was 7, 8? About 7 or 8. I had nightmares for weeks after every single murder. My mother was like, "Why are you making her play this?" And I'm like, "It was my choice. I bought this game with my own money. It's the first game I ever bought."
Aww.
I had so many nightmares about Ziggy's head. I'm just saying. I had more nightmares from Crash in Gabriel Knight 1, though. Because that was about the same time as well.
Oh, Crash.
Crash turning blue and shriveling up. I couldn't handle it. But when I first played this with my dad, and, like, we had so much trouble with that last, you know, like, the chase scene, that we actually went to my dad's, to a family friend who had the internet and downloaded the walkthrough and printed it out.
Ooh.
And it was the
fancy.
That was my first experience on the internet, was getting a walkthrough for Lorabo 2.
Cool.
Yeah. I've still got it, actually. I've got it in a folder that I've got that one, and I've got Lorabo 1 from, again, we went to that same guy's house to print out walkthroughs.
That's amazing.
But yeah, so but my dad had all these, like, you know, like, he thought other people were doing murders as well. It wasn't just Detective O'Reilly, and he had all these, like, different reasons, and he's like, no, you know, I'm older, I understand what's going on.
Sure.
I'm trying to remember who he thought killed the Countess. He was definitely, like, he definitely agreed that it was, like, you know, it was someone going, like, hey, other people are dying, let's just get rid of the Countess. I think it was Wolf. I think he put quite a few murders on Wolf.
Oh.
Just because, like, Wolf's barely around, and, you know, like, all these murders are around you. Why, you know, like, maybe he snapped a little bit. There is a, like, you know, there is a conversation, I can't remember if we found it or not, but, you know, where you talk to Wolf about the, you know, the missing, oh no, we did find it, but you talk to Wolf about the missing stuff. The missing,
paintings?
No, it wasn't the missing paintings. It was the dagger. And then he starts talking about paintings because his mother's paintings had been burnt in Germany. But that just kind of showed that there was this fragile edge of Wolf that could have been, you know, could have possibly snapped. In regards to, like, you know, once the dagger had been stolen, that maybe he's gone crazy. So, you know, there are no wrong answers. There's just which is more provable in court. I'm just saying.
Right.
So we're going to get going, but I can say that the game that won the retro LP track, because I did do that little vote, was Lorabo 1. So
ooh, yay.
We are going to be coming back, because I'm assuming Del wants to come back for Lorabo 1.
Absolutely. I love that game.
Good. Because it's a bit dry
beautiful
to be played by yourself, especially when you're trying to talk about it by yourself. But and the one that won the modern track was Black Pearl Epiphany. So get ready to cry, everyone.
Aww.
I know that when I first played it, I cried for like an hour afterwards. So we have
it'll
that
be
to look
fine.
forward to. I don't know. I haven't been able to play it since, so it's going to be emotional to play it again as well.
Oh, it'll be fine.
It's a beautiful, beautiful game series. Anyway, we are going to get going after, having to record that intro several times and,
Oh, yes.
playing through that. And so
Okay.
we're going to go now, and I'm going to leave you with some scenes that I found from, playing the game again. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.